Round one. Fight.
Heroes never die.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Power, sex, power. They both come down to one thing.
Hungry gamers.
Hello, and welcome, boys and girls, to the 145th episode of the Hungry Gamers podcast. We are powered by 8bit.net and Audio Technica. I'm your extremely humble host, Brendan White. You can find me just about everywhere at Brendan 8bit. And joining me on this vision quest that we call episode 145 is the human heart ring herself, Miss Sally Hart, who can be found at Miss Sally Hart. And also joining us today, Anthony from Queer Eye's slightly less handsome doppelganger. Saleem Abraham. Find him at Saleem TD. Welcome back to Hungry HQ, you bunch of sexy legends. How you doing?
Well.
What a compliment!
I've never seen it. Is he the handsomest of the group, as is the case here, Brendan?
He is a good-looking rooster, yeah.
He's probably the better looking of them.
What a compliment
it's a compliment.
to get. I'm just going to assume it's a compliment. Is he also, like, super funny?
Oh, no.
Okay. Probably.
He's as bland as some of the meals he prepares.
Just throw a little bit of lemon on there and you've got yourself a nice garden salad.
I see. Very, very fitting for me for my episode last week then.
Yes. Yeah, you were the wilted lettuce last week.
I was still asleep last week. I think until about an hour after we stopped recording. So anyway, yes, thank you for the compliment, and hopefully I can emulate some more lively behavior today. I'm gonna move the camera so I'm actually looking at it.
Hey Brendan, who do you see yourself as? The queer
eye? Oh my! I don't know.
Are you the one with the long hair?
Nah, he's so outrageous. He's fantastic. I don't know who I see myself in.
Is there anyone in the queer eye? Is there five
no.
still? There's five, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a sex joke. And we're only 2 minutes 30 in.
Oh, I'm alive. That was great. This is going to be a good episode.
I'm sure they'd all be very caring lovers and treat me well, but I don't know.
I like whenever Brendan contemplates pointless, useless stuff, you always really think about it deeply. Like, you really go inside and just think, like, George, I don't know their names. I'm just going to make up names. George doesn't have any tattoos, but he really does like food. I guess I like food, but he doesn't have tattoos. But I guess Kyle has some good tattoos. Maybe I'm a bit more like Kyle. I don't know any, again, names. But I think it's cute watching you try and think it through in your head.
Maybe you're Bobby, Brendan.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's a bit of a dude.
Yeah.
Bit of dude, got a beard.
Got a beard, you know. He can decorate the shit out of a living space. That's for sure.
He's probably the best, to be honest. That's my opinion. I'm going to say for high appropriate nature, I'm going to be Jonathan, and I have a killer mustache, like everyone knows. So.
Yeah, and he's like in the latest season, he's got the moustache beard combo where he's got the thick stubble beard and then this massive regal curl moustache. Like, but he makes it work even when he's wearing bloody like 5-inch heels and some crazy sort of skirt. Yeah, like power to him. You know,
welcome
the
to the Queer Eye
that.
podcast, guys. I'm sure you're expecting video games this week, but you're not getting it.
I would happily do a Queer Eye centric podcast because I love the shit out of that show.
Call it Queer Eye, get it in you.
Anyway, I guess we should sort of pivot into what we're usually here to talk about, and that is, for the most part, video games. Quick bit of housekeeping before we get into the main housekeeping. Obviously, we did say that Matty Perkins from Ultra Super Mega would be on this episode, but we've had some scheduling conflicts, so he'll be on in a future episode. So for now, you're just going to have to ride out with the standard Holy Trinity here, but we will give you a fantastic episode 145 with some cool things coming up, including the very first video game draft. So get hyped for that. But I guess first things, we should lead off with what we've been playing. Tell me the things, Dream, you've been playing.
Yeah. So Sekiro is a game that I've been thinking about getting. But I realized I have Dark Souls 3 and I never finished it. and I wonder if that's because I'm just bad at Soulsborne games and never really liked them. I never really got far in it either, so I thought I'd give it a proper try. I feel like I put it down because something else came up in life, and like the golden retriever I just chase that until something new pops up, and then I chase that. So I've been playing Dark Souls 3. I put actually 15 hours into this game this week, which is a huge time commitment for me.
That's massive.
And I probably could have put like well and truly a little bit more into it yesterday as well, but I was a bit dead to the world. Can I just say,
just because you played so much Dark Souls, you were that tired? You had to sleep all day. That's what it was, right?
Yeah, of course. That's why I was completely out of energy, Brendan. I spent my day yesterday hungover on a couch watching all 3 Matrix films. If you ever need something to do on a Saturday, I cannot rate doing that highly enough. It is fantastic.
And that would have led you like first Matrix, feeling great, hangovers probably getting shaken. Second Matrix, oh my God, I'm going to throw up on the couch.
Hey!
Third Matrix, I'm feeling a bit better again. All is well with the world.
No, Matrix goes in a downhill, thank you.
No
Good,
way.
okay, terrible.
I would argue, like the first is the best. The second's not bad. I do like the second and the third. When Trinity, spoiler alert, when Trinity dies in Revolutions.
How old's this movie?
This is 15 years.
Okay.
When she dies in the third one, I was heartbroken. I was actually gutted because I forgot what happened to her. I thought maybe she just goes on and lives alone, but no. So anyway, I love those films. Watch those films. They're all on Stan. Dark Souls 3. I love Dark Souls 3. It's incredibly infuriating.
One quick thing on the Matrix thing. How bonkers would it have been if Nick Cage actually accepted the role of Neo?
Oh, it would have been great.
Was that
it would have been the best.
Yeah.
It
he was first choice.
Those movies would have
Christ.
gotten amazing. Like it would be like national treasure of Matrix. Holy crap, I want that movie.
But I can
Follow the
kind
White
of see
Rabbit.
it because Keanu Reeves is doing a really Nick Cage thing when he's playing Neo.
It's true.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Could eat a peach for hours.
Oh, I'm trying to imagine that now.
Trinity, you are my hummingbird.
Put that bunny back in the Matrix. It's a terrible impersonation.
But yeah, it's bonkers. Like, I can't envision that franchise without Keanu. Only because I love Keanu. I think he's one of the best dudes in the entire universe.
But you
Keanu's a dude.
I'm having trouble imagining it now because I can't really envision like a 1999 Nick Cage. I'm only imagining Nick Cage today in it.
Yeah, that's like face-off
Which is-
Nick Cage era.
Yeah.
Is it?
I think he would have been good. I think because, again, I think Keanu seems to be doing a bit of a Nick Cage thing when he's acting like... I don't want to do impersonation. Just, all right, watch it. I'm going to try and imagine it. I think it would be cool.
But also, Nick Cage, divorced for the 4th time.
I'm surprised there hasn't been a Matrix reboot or like a series or anything like that because it's such a cool little universe to play in.
Maybe we'll see like a Netflix animated series. Like, what was the original animated series they did of it?
The Animatrix.
Yeah, maybe they'll just expand on that and park it on Netflix.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I'd watch the shit out of that.
I would watch the shit out of that. Love, Death, Robots is like a little bit Matrix.
Oh yeah, God,
It's got that vibe.
I just want a second season, or not a sec. I want standalone seasons of some of those universes from that show. There was a few duds, but there was some absolute crackers as well.
They probably will do that.
Dark Souls 3. Yeah, Dark Souls 3. Everyone knows what it is. I like it. I played the Deprived class, which hasn't been too bad. I kind of steered into like a warrior-esque class with like heavy armor and a shield and sword. I've been getting tips from people on how to play as well, which is always fun. I was sitting around a room like with Mache and Toby from the Forever Movie Boys the other night talking about it for like 30 minutes. And it just kind of occurred to me how no one talks about video games like the way we were talking about Dark Souls 3 all that much, in that there are things that you miss. Like you'll never find out that you missed a certain part of this game, or that you could approach an enemy in a specific way. like I was playing just like dodging and slashing. That's all I was doing. And then I found out that, and this sounds dumb, but then I found out like if I use a shield and block and it hits stam, I could just build up my stam bar instead of my health bar and just try and block everything. And that never occurred to me. And there's nothing that guides you towards playing like that. So anyway, I'm enjoying this. I'm going to keep playing this. And then I think Sekiro is going to be my next beautiful thing to purchase afterwards. If it's anything like this, I like it. Apparently it's harder than Dark Souls 3, Brendan.
Yeah, like, I guess I'm probably not the best measuring stick for that, because I was sort of similar to what you said at the start. Like, I'm not a big Souls guy. Like, I admire that genre and the way those games are put together and the genuine struggle from loading that game to turning that game off when credits roll. But it's sort of a style of game that doesn't typically mesh with how I like to play games. So it is sort of a patient thing with me where I need to push forward and persist and keep remembering in my head that, you know what, you are meant to die an absolute arseload of times in this and learn from your mistakes and sort of be more calculated and what have you, instead of frenetic sort of just hack and slash abandonment. So yeah, but Sekiro is hard, like, but I haven't played the Souls series. I've played all three of them, you know, several hours each, so I've got an understanding, and I know they were hard, but Sekiro still feels very hard. I can't say that it feels harder because I wasn't progressed further enough in the stories, but from you see all the chatter on Twitter and everything like that, there is a bit of an uproar for people wanting an easier difficulty setting to go into that game because it struggles. And it's like, doesn't that defeat the purpose of what From Software are trying to do here? Yeah. But I don't know.
Yeah, it seems so relative. Like I can see how you can judge like maybe a Souls game against another one because you're just familiar with the fights and the mechanics and the enemies. And I suppose you could do that with Sekiro as well, but how can you judge like how hard something should be when there's nothing else to compare it to?
Exactly.
Like, because you can't do that in Souls, can you? You can't just change it from hard to medium or whatever. It's like, it's all one game, and it's just as hard as it is.
Yeah, I think it's just set from the jump. Like, I could be wrong, as I said, I'm no Souls expert, but yeah, the difficulty they give you is the difficulty to play on. And I think in the previous iterations, as I said, it could be just talking at my ass here. When you do complete, you have an option to sort of try it again at a harder difficulty. Is that right? Like a nightmare mode or something? Or am I just...
It's New Game Plus.
Imagining things, yeah.
No, it's New Game Plus, yeah. And that goes... I think that loops like up to 99.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Why
would you do that to yourself?
Well, I imagine you scale with it. It's not that it scales up. I think you scale probably in a linear fashion in terms of the quality of items that you have, and otherwise, at New Game Plus 99, like you would literally every minion would be a boss fight.
I just feel these games to me they take years off your own like IRL life. Like
yeah,
they are so stressful and so fucking heart pounding. Like I think it genuinely probably takes seconds or minutes away from your time on Earth due to the stress levels.
There was a part this week where I kept trying to kill this one enemy. It wasn't a boss, but it was like a really hard enemy early on, this like knight with a blue cloak. And I think I must have died 20 times either at him or on the way to him. But like as I kept doing it, I was getting so good at the route to get to that guy. Like, I was not taking any damage across maybe like 10 minions. I was just smashing all of them along the way. And I just kept thinking to myself, like, if this was the game, like, if the game was just this route, I would have fucking I would get a gold medal. I would be the best in the world at this route because of how much I'm doing it. But he, had his way with me several times. Blessed his sword, one-shotted me, like, on 5 of those occasions. But then you get him and you're like, yes, I'm never coming back.
World.
Yeah. If it was like a game and it's like 20-1, I'll take the 1 and leave. I don't need to know if I can do it twice. Yeah.
Miss Hart, I just want to see a new Tenchu game now. I
know.
Tenchu on this current generation of platforms. Please make it so.
I mean, like, so Sekiro was meant to be Tenchu, wasn't it? Like, that's where it kind of, the base where it came from. But in saying that, I I've been watching a few streams of it because everyone's hyping this game up, so curiosity, struck me, and I am not playing this game. Nope. That I've never had so much like anger and anxiety watching someone else play a game like this, and I just got so damn frustrated watching people play Sekiro, and I just went, no, this is not for me.
I can only imagine, like, it sucks watching someone play a game badly, like any game, but to play a game where the odds are so against you anyway that you're almost guaranteed to die. I would just get that backseat gamer urge like nothing else. Like, dodge! No,
it's not even a case where like it's one of those instances where you're watching someone, you're like, I could do better, or why didn't they do that? It's literally like I could see that this person was like attempting different variations and approaching it and calculating it, and they weren't just like going straight into it. They were trying their best to evaluate the situation to see the best way to execute it, and they were still being like brought down, or they'd finally reach that hurdle, and then the next thing you know, they just get like side slammed by a giant cock rooster. There's giant roosters in the game.
You were hanging on to that one for a little while, I can tell.
Yeah, well,
in the back pocket, just ready.
Yeah.
So Sekiro, the game that crushes your soul, brings you right back up, and then crushes you right back down. But it's great. It's just really hard and it hurts me. I'll play some more. I've only played an hour or so of total gaming outside of Snap games this week because I've been traveling, so I don't really have anything to add as far as what I've been playing. Miss Hart, I see there's a little line here regarding what you've been playing.
Yeah. Oh, my little extra little thing there, because I've only been playing The Division 2. And then I wrote, it's my new destiny. And then I wrote, insert joke about me liking D games. Almost level 30 in The Division. I know a lot of people are probably like, well, aren't you 30 yet? But I only play like maybe a couple of hours a day, if that. So I'm probably going to hit 30 today. And pretty excited for the rollout of new content that's going to be coming out. So they'll be opening up outskirts. There'll also be further down the line, you'll be able to infiltrate the Pentagon. And then I think the raid will be coming out this month, I think it is. So, just keeping at it. Gonna keep leveling up because there's just more and more content that's further down the way.
So your new Destiny, do you consider this a superior game than, say, Destiny 2, which you've been such an advocate for many moons?
I'm not going to say it's a more superior game because I do see that there will be the inevitable point where I will stop playing, and you can only evolve a game so much with Division 2. I like that they're already mapping it out. It's like they're saying, like, this is what we have to offer. But, I mean, yeah, for the most part, I don't see it being able to, like they've created a universe in the sense, like, that you could build upon. But with Destiny, I just feel like there's more opportunity to expand. But saying that, I have ditched it for the Division. I guess it's just, breath of fresh air for me right now.
It's just that new hotness.
That new hotness.
Yeah.
Getting to that level cap.
You are max level, are you, Ali?
No, not yet. No, I don't know anyone that's like max level.
Once you hit
30, then you start reaching certain world tiers, and then you build up your levels after that. I don't know what the highest amount is. I know a lot of people like right now.
So is it like D3 Paragon system where it's just kind of or like Destiny's Light system where it's just a way to hard cap the experience, but it's all based on equipment?
Yeah, so I think once you reach a certain point of level 30, then I think straight after that, then it is sort of kind of like equipment based and kind of like power based on equipment. And,
are you 30?
And all that sort of stuff.
Are you level 30?
If you were paying attention to what I just said, Sammy,
she said
boy,
she'll hit level 30
I'll hit
today.
level 30
Sorry,
today.
I missed that. You didn't say that.
Yes,
I
you
did say that.
Yeah, I know. You probably said that. I was listening. I was just thinking as well. I was
still thinking about getting hit by them big cocks in.
Try to work out how to get good.
Okay.
Jono did a review of this game. And
He did?
It dropped last week, and it's a good review. And he raves about it. And I think literally the only criticism he had was that it's occasionally glitchy. And that some of the rendering takes a bit of time.
He is playing on. I think he played his on PlayStation, so I've heard a bit of bit of back and forth regarding rendering and graphics on PlayStation. It's not terrible, but yeah, there are a lot of like kind of graphical pickups that happen on PlayStation. But from what I've witnessed on PC, I have had so many amazing shots. I even like posted on my Instagram like one shot that I took.
Yeah.
The Lincoln Memorial. So it's
Cool.
Happy days.
I need a new Snap game as well, by the way. You were mentioning Snap games, Brendan. I was looking on the App Store the other day on my iPhone. I couldn't find anything that was like.
Well, I'm back dabbling with a bit of WWE Supercard.
Oh, you skipped over that.
Yeah. And also a game I've been playing is Alien Blackout, which is I don't know if you'd say the spiritual successor to Alien Isolation, but it's sort of like an offshoot to Alien Isolation, which where you play obviously Ripley's daughter in the game. Probably one of the best alien-based video games of all time, in my opinion. And it's sort of like picture the sort of structure of Five Nights at Freddy's, but in the Alien universe.
Yeah.
So you're sort of fixed in the area and you're trying to light rooms, close off doors to get your space crew to safety on all of these levels while the alien hunts them. Right. So there's some jump scares, some good back and forth, and the script isn't bad, but it's a mobile game, so you know what to expect. Like, it's not going to be a full-fledged experience, but I've been playing with that just because I'm an Alien fanboy and I really like that universe. So dabbling there. I think there's 13 levels or so. And you can replay them and get different strategies and try and get your little smartphone achievements as well. So yeah, they're the two I've been playing on the old Snap game.
Cool.
Gonna rehash to the audience what a Snap game is?
Yes. Yeah, any new listeners, a Snap game is a game we typically refer to as being playable while on the toilet. So handheld on your smartphone while you're doing a poo, #Snap game, snap one off while you're, playing some games, whether it be shooting Angry Birds or, locking off aliens while your crew tries to escape the, Nostromo equivalent. So #Snap game.
It really is one of the artifacts of the Hungry Gamers, the Snap game hashtag.
Yeah.
It really is.
From very early on, we I think Brendan coined it. Or maybe Reese, I forget.
Don't know. Maybe me, because I'm always talking about pooing. So it could have been me.
True.
Yeah.
Isn't there a new Elder Scrolls mobile game?
There is. Blades has come out.
It is, yeah. It's out? Did you say it's out?
Or at least the early access is available if you're pre-registered.
I didn't pre-register.
I did, but that was when I had an iPhone, so I don't get my pre-registration because I'm on Android now. So
those games, I just think that the data and the battery drain that those games just inflict on your phone, it just makes it so not worth it.
Yeah. That's why you get the simple WWE Supercard Snap game,
Dare we ask, have you dropped any more coin on that one, Brendan? No?
Have not. I feel good about that. I've got a pretty good deck built now. Reckon most people I come up against, so just on that wrestling grind now. Wrestling.
There's a new Hearthstone expansion coming out soon. I might actually jump back on to that,
mate. You pendulum on that game so much.
But I haven't. Yeah, to be fair to me though, and let's be fair to me. Please be fair to me. I haven't put coin into that game for at least 12 months. So, yeah.
Speaking like a true addict.
Yeah, I've got a coin. I've got a 365-day coin.
Anyway. Bless your cotton socks, Bizarro Anthony.
Throw some lemon on it.
Maybe a bit of salt, would you say?
A little bit of salt.
All right, so a quick bit of housekeeping. As at time of recording right now, it is the Sunday, but tomorrow will be April 1st, April Fool's Day, and you would be a fool to not head on over to patreon.com/weare8bit and drop some of your hard-earned dollars our way to help support what we're doing here. Obviously, we've got an absolute bucket load of content creators, podcasts, doing some really good things, and this will help keep those physical lights on in our studios, as one might say. But episode 3 will be releasing in full of the 8-Bit Cast, and that stars Jono, Benny, Bryce, and myself. It's a nice trip down food memory lane, and that will be available on all podcast hosting platforms as of tomorrow at about 6 a.m. or about the same time you're listening to this, will be available. So search for the 8-Bit Cast on there. And episode 4 will move into early access via dollar subscribers on Patreon and above, which stars our boy here, Saleem the Dream Abraham, as well as the 2 lads from the Forever Movie Boys. Dream, did you want to give us a little quick brief synopsis on what episode 4 is and what our listeners could expect?
Yeah, sure. So, I thought it would be fun if we... Have you seen the Wired YouTube series, the autocomplete interviews, where they bring on like a celebrity and they Google like half a question, like, what is Jennifer Lawrence? And then you just look at what the suggested answers are and they have to answer those questions. I thought it'd be funny to do that with Brendan's name. And so the 3 of us decided to have a crack with that. The only problem was, if I type into Google, is Brendan white? The only 2 things that popped up was, is Brendan Schaub white? And Brendan Schaub is like a comedian.
He's an MMA guy.
Yeah, he's an entertainer now. And then the other one was, is Brendan a white name? So,
well,
yeah, that's topical.
And so we modified it a little bit and had a lot of fun answering. I think we must have gone through like at least 10, 11 questions about Brendan and about Brendan's habits. I think this is only sort of made better by the fact that Toby and Mache have never really spoken to you all that much. Like, you've met them a little bit, but yeah, they know fucking nothing about you. So it was good to see the answers that they were coming up with to some of these questions. Like, one of my favorites, who is Brendan White in Spider-Man 3 was one of the questions that came up.
I can't wait to hear that. Like full disclosure, I had no idea this was going to be the focus of discussion for episode 4. I haven't heard any of the episode. When Dream gives it to me, I'm not going to edit it or suppress anything. So I'm just going to chuck that out into the wilderness and let it go, because, we're not about censorship here at 8-Bit and the Hungry Gamers. So I'm excited to get roasted by these 3 guys and potentially return fire down the line.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah, so get ready.
Yeah.
Hell hath no fury.
I think it's funny. I think it's very funny. I'm excited to see people's reactions. Anyway, so that's coming tomorrow. Yeah.
Tomorrow, or right now, like as you're listening to this, it will be available right now. Patreon.com/REA8bit. And just drop the low price of $1 per month to get access to that and a whole heap of other exclusive perks and swag that you cannot find anywhere else. But I think it's about time to move on to some news, shall we?
This week's news headlines.
All right. Did someone say Borderlands? Because this is something that has obviously been hypothesized and referenced for many, many moons. We've been hanging for a Borderlands 3. And as of this week, Borderlands 3 has officially been announced via a 3.5-minute trailer. Yeah. It's a great trailer. A lot of content chucked in there, but a few little hit points. The video showcased a heap of new locations, some that have never been seen before in the Borderlands universe. They showed the new Vault Hunter crew. They show some of the old Vault Hunters from Borderlands 2. Absolute bucket load of content and combat, as well as stating there is over 1 billion guns in the game.
Crazy. What
do you reckon? I know, Ali, you are probably the biggest Borderlands tragic here amongst the 3 of us. Mm-hmm. Maybe you start us off. What do you think? Did this tickle your Borderlands itch?
It did. I must admit, maybe I was a tiny bit underwhelmed by the trailer, just a little bit. Like, I wasn't hyped. Like, I think the thing is that regardless of what the trailer did, I was going to be happy that they're telling me that I'm getting a new game. So I think they already had me regardless. But I did acknowledge that there was a certain point of that trailer where I was like, I'm not as hyped up as I thought. They've obviously, like you said, they mentioned a bunch of new different like environments that we hopefully will be exploring, but we did see a lot of the same in regards to what I assume is like identical kind of gameplay in the video. So actually characters and action going on. It was a lot of the same environments that we were familiar with. The style's very much the same, but they've obviously polished it off a lot more. We saw a lot of characters, mashed up amongst them, like amongst all the new characters as well. So that would be interesting. there is a new vehicle in there, which I cannot separate from the damn South Park episode. The little circular wheel thing.
Yeah, in your mouth and in your butt.
That's the one. So I couldn't actually separate that in my head. So I'm just assuming it's the same ride until they tell me otherwise. With the two bad guys, they're either going to be lovers or brother and sister. And this whole kind of cult vibe that I was getting from the actual trailer. So it looks like we're going to get very cultish kind of themes in there. So in regards to 1 billion guns, that sounds amazing. I can't wait. And like I said, overall, they already had me. They could have just literally done a trailer that just said Borderlands 3, and I would be like, yeah.
Yeah.
But in regards to actual full-on execution of the trailer, I don't think it hyped me as much as I probably wanted to.
Okay. Yeah, it went for a while, and I think, like, I actively looked at the running timestamp as I was watching this trailer, going, surely it's going to end soon, and it's like, oh shit, there's another whole minute, and it's just they were just throwing like really quick cuts of environments and guns and explosions and whatever else, and that same sort of pumping sort of rock-based soundtrack behind it all. Like, it was well done. I'm keen, but yeah, it didn't elevate me to a new level of keenness, I guess is the best way to describe it.
Yeah. And like, I don't ever want to like sell this short, because I love this series, and any person that hasn't actually played the series, I want them to be hyped. It's a great series. It's a great bunch of games. I want you guys to, you know, be on the same level as me. But for the most part, I actually did utter to someone. I said, you know what? Someone could have showed me this trailer and just told me it was new DLC, and I would have believed it. Like, that's kind of like where I was at. I'm still hyped, I'm still happy, but in regards to the execution of the trailer and it's selling something to me, something like new, it didn't reach that point for me.
Does this series, like, do you equate this at all ever with just like a lighter Destiny? I know that sounds kind of silly, but
I mean,
it's a looter shooter, and I feel like Destiny's probably the closest thing to this series that I've played that matches, that seems to be similar. Except Borderlands 2 is heavily restricted to just the 4-player co-op experience, whereas Destiny is obviously Destiny. Yeah. It's this huge MMO that expands on, I think, the ideas that Borderlands introduced way back when. And so I think, like, I actually really was never too hot for Borderlands, particularly because it was isolated to 4-player co-op, and I thought, like, playing MMOs my whole life, like, the only reason I want the biggest, baddest thing is so that I can have it over 1,000 other people and lord it over them. I don't give a shit if my gun's better than one of 3 other people's guns. And so, like, for me, it was never kind of... The looter component was never really valuable enough. And then the other side of it as well, I guess, is that I was playing this at an internet cafe, so all of my progress would typically be lost fairly quickly after leaving.
Oh, then
that'd be tough, man.
This is back in the day, by the way.
If you were going through a situation where any progress you made was essentially lost, and then you have lost the overall vibe of the game, because it is a looter shooter, but with a build-up mentality where you get to mod out whether guns that you already have, or you know, and it's the struggle where if you are playing co-op, you'd have those loot chests. Unfortunately, you know, not everyone's going to get the same. So, you know, you will have a better gun than your team player, or you switch it out, you find out what works, you mod it, you customize it, you work it with your abilities. Like,
I guess what I'm trying to say is that I think that this style of game is somewhat redundant or archaic now in I guess where we are with gaming. It just feels that way to me on the surface. Again, I don't have, you know, a wealth of experience in the Borderlands series. It would take more than just, like, for instance, they're saying how many guns? Like 1 billion guns, right?
1 billion.
Like, well, who gives a shit? Like, who really cares that there's 1 billion guns, all with varying stat differences, when you can really only roll around with 3 other people? Are you locked to those 3 people in Borderlands? Is that how it always is?
It's one person's story.
Yeah, like it's just like with Division or Division 2, I guess, is the best one, where you'd sort of join on someone's instance.
Yeah.
And that's how it'd be. So say we all jump into Ali's universe here. Like the characters that we're playing would follow us. Like, so if you're you're playing as a Siren or as the Beastmaster. So depending on what you're playing, that progression will carry and the weapons you pick up. But yeah, the story is still your own.
Is there a version of this game that you would prefer, Ali? Like, would you prefer it if it was something like, like Fallout's MMO or... I don't know. That seems similar to me because of the sort of setting.
The only thing that I would probably possibly want from Borderlands and is probably a more open landscape, but it already has that. It's just from what I remember from a lot of the Borderlands games, as much as it was an open landscape, it was a vast open landscape of repetitive, like, bad guys in between. So instead of you wanting to stop and attack them, you would just shoot past them kind of thing. So you'd have to get from location to location. So maybe a more interactive, broader, sandbox landscape. That's what I could ask for. Do I need it? Not necessarily. I was happy with it.
Yeah, but there's definitely some intrigue from the trailer, like this Children of the Cult, like the new big bads. Was it Tyrene and Troy, I think, are the two main antagonists. I don't know if they're brother and sister, but they certainly look like it. And Tyrene, she's even got like all the siren markings, so maybe she's got some of those abilities. You see some of the OG Vault Hunters, like you see Lilith, and she's actually missing all her siren marking tattoos. So I don't know, maybe they're sort of taking it away from Lilith and sort of the other sirens in the game. You see Maya later; she's still got her, cool blue bloody fluoro markings and what have you. But yeah, I'm curious to see how they're going to flesh this out and weave all those OG Vault Hunters into the story that we know from Borderlands 1 and 2. And I saw like Amara, the new Siren, how she's got this ability where like all these giant arms come out of nowhere. Like she ends up becoming like almost like an 8-armed wrecking machine. There's a stealth-based class who's sort of got cloaking abilities, the Beastmaster, which is cool. And then the other lady who can summon a fully sort of controlled mech, which I thought was pretty interesting as the four classes. So I'm keen. The world looks great. I like some of the neon sci-fi future city worlds that they're showcasing in there.
And that's what I want to see. I want to see more of that. Like they showed us a snapshot, but not really too much in there from what I could see.
Yeah, because outside of that, like you think of Borderlands 1 and 2, all you really know is the Badlands. Like it's just all, a pretty neutral palette. It's all yellows and greys and blacks and whatever. And then you see this big, massive future cityscape. I think that looks really, really good.
And then they had that jungle, like kind of, greenery kind of area. And I'm like, that's kind of fresh. That's kind of new. So let's look at that.
Yeah. So I'm keen. We're going to see more later this week, funnily enough. April 3rd, we're going to get some further information on Borderlands 3. And what else they've also announced this week is Borderlands 1 is getting a remaster, which is also available on April the 3rd, coming to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. They're calling the remaster the, in quotes, Definitive Edition. And what they're doing is bringing all the DLC, new weapons, substantial visual upgrades, I should say, so better lighting, textures, character models, as well as 4K and HDR on supported consoles, plus various gameplay elements and quality of life improvements. And what that in essence means is you're going to get a new minimap, character heads and skins, gold chests and keys, plus support for 4-player split-screen co-op, which is up from the original's 2 limitation. So yeah, that's coming out 2 days after this records. So get excited if you want to jump into the OG and see it in current gen.
What do you think the price will be?
It's got to be like $30.
Yeah, you think?
I think it'll probably be 50, but I think 30 is probably pretty fair.
What, for the remastered?
Yeah.
You reckon?
I think 50.
Because they're currently selling, I think, I think maybe it's just Borderlands 2 is just standalone. Maybe it is the Handsome Jack collection. I can't remember, but on Steam, I remember seeing like $15.
Okay.
So they did have a massive reduction on Borderlands on Steam.
That's good. And on the Steam front, if you do own the Borderlands Game of the Year edition, you'll be able to upgrade to this enhanced edition for free. So you can get all those new textures and resolutions and 4K and HDR at no cost if you have Borderlands already on Steam. So that's a good little caveat. But yeah, 2 days after this episode releases, we're going to get more content maybe a release date of this game. Are you assuming it's going to be 2019, or you think it might fall into 2020?
I think it could be 2019. I think the options are there, the possibilities there. They showed a lot, and it depends how extensive the universe is, or if they're going to do what they usually do, which is, have the base story and then future DLCs and, extra stories added on afterwards. But the possibilities there to get it done by 2019, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Like a Q4.
I'm going to say late October. I'm putting my bet down.
Say early October so I could get it for my birthday.
Okay. Now I want to say late and you say early, and we'll have a bet.
No.
I'll say between October 20th and October 20th and October 30th.
I just anytime Brendan is so sure to put a bet on it, he speaks with such a confidence that it immediately makes me back down. I'm like, no. Yeah. I'm okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. October 20 through 30. Put my nuts on the table.
Ugh.
That was them right there.
Cool.
Looks like I'm the only one here with nuts on the table, and that's a little bit awkward right now, especially because we're on video. But anyway, let's move on. A couple of quick hits before we move into the video game draft segment of the podcast. So Adi Shankar, the man behind Netflix's Castlevania series, which is now 2 seasons deep on the platform, is now in development of a series based around Heart Machine's Hyperlight Drifter game. I did certainly not see this coming.
Oh, isn't he meant to be looking after something else as well? Wasn't there another Devil May Cry? Is he also
He's doing Devil May Cry, yeah.
Yeah. Calm down, mate. One thing at a time, please.
Hopefully he's got the bandwidth to adequately care for these franchises.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, it's cool though. Like, it's good to see an indie game that was pretty sort of big from a review and reception standpoint, at least. I don't know how it sort of went sales wise, but did any of you guys played Hyperlight Drifter at all?
No, Hyperlight Drifter is one of those games where I always stop on it, and like my mind tells me you probably will like this game, but I just can't commit to actually getting into it. Yeah, it's been on my radar, but I just don't know when, if or how I will ever tackle this game. Maybe I'll just live through this this television franchise when it hits the airwaves. Airwaves. Because it's internet. Good job. I don't know.
That's not how it works, but all right.
Wireless.
Moving on to the video game draft.
We're transmitting wirelessly, so it is going through the airwaves. You ass. Wireless link. I think I've dug myself out of that hole. Anyway, moving on.
All right.
Ash Williams is joining Dead by Daylight via DLC this week as well. So April 2nd, everyone's favourite Deadite Slayer, Ash Williams, who is actually going to be voiced, and the likeness of Bruce Campbell is getting used for this DLC coming this week. So if you want to play as Ash and get chased around by Michael Myers and Leatherface and co. Yeah, so he's not a baddie. Yeah, I was about to say he wasn't a baddie though. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, which I think's great. Like I'm a massive Evil Dead fanboy, and Bruce Campbell is one of the dudes of the sort of pop culture space. I'd say is probably the best way I can describe it right now. So it's cool to see he's getting a little bit of coverage and airplay and making his way to Dead by Daylight. I don't know how much that game's got as far as longevity and even sort of concurrent player base. It's still strong. It's just, if you go through Twitch, there's a lot of people who are just straight up dedicated to that franchise, and they'll have tons of views. So it surprised me, but there's still a big community playing that game. Yeah. But I love Bruce Campbell. I love Evil Dead. It still makes me sad that the Evil Dead TV series got canned. Hopefully we see it come back in some form on another platform, because that would be magical. Too invested in that one. It's great. I think it's just you, my friend. Yeah. Watch it. That's probably why I got cancelled. If it was just me, so that makes a lot of sense. But anyway. We've got this one person watching it in Australia somewhere. Yeah. Pull the plug. The last bit of news, Twitch Prime, so members or users of the Twitch Prime service, they are currently including a 12-month subscription to Nintendo Switch Online. So cheeky little saving. What is it? It's about $30 Australian for the 12-month service. So anyone that is a Switch owner and wants to play, let's say, Tetris 99 online, you need this Nintendo Switch online service. So jump onto Twitch Prime. It's about $6 a month or whatever it is, and get yourself a free subscription, as well as a ton of video game keys and in-game currency and skins for all the big AAA titles out there, and that obviously resets month on month. So get on it. I will actually own Nintendo Switch Online now because I haven't bought it in the wilderness at the moment. So yeah.
Twitch Prime's very the stuff that they're starting to link to Twitch Prime. This is obviously one of the biggest things, but the amount of loot that they've been loot free games. It's
and obviously it ties into Prime Video. So if you're using the Amazon streaming service, you get the free Twitch Prime, and that's how I sort of led into it because I wanted to watch American Gods. So I've got my Twitch Prime tied into my Prime Video account and everything. So it's the gift that keeps on giving, at least for me. Don't know about the rest of you.
There's a Jean-Claude Van Damme show on Twitch on Prime Video, that I was watching. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, he's just I admire that he is aware that he's sort of a parody of himself these days and just sort of owns it now.
That's what that show's pretty much about.
Anywho, that is the news of this week. If there's anything else you want to throw in that you saw circulating the airwaves, speak now or forever hold your peace until episode 146.
Are you saying that to us?
Yeah.
Well, I just want to give a shout out to the PlayStation and Xbox events that kind of came and went this week, and I've got to be honest, I didn't watch the Microsoft one. I watched the PlayStation one while I was at the gyms. Luckily enough, it was in a short segment. So, and I am completely intrigued by a game called Observation, done by Devolver Digital, and it's a game where you play as a space station. It's a space horror, so I think this might be something you might be interested in, Brendan.
Okay,
you like a bit of the old space horror,
yeah.
But as opposed to being a character running around, you were playing as the actual,
space station.
Space station, yeah. And you'll be working as through cameras and using machines and stuff. I feel like it's a good old nod to the old games we used to have to click and set traps and everything like that for motion video as well.
I'll give it a look because I'm with you. Just with the work week that was, I have not checked either of those, new direct-based events that Sony and Microsoft put out there after we talked about them in pretty substantial detail in episode 144. So maybe I'll go and check them out later.
Like I said, didn't watch Microsoft, watched the PlayStation one. I really liked it. I thought it was great. I thought it was very useful. I think what it's meant to be doing, it's going to be doing well. So some people didn't like it, thinking it was meant to be a friggin' mini E3, but whatever.
Yeah. Bizarro Anthony, did you watch them?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. And I find it hilarious that I haven't seen anything about either of them all week either. If I'm being incredibly honest. In fact, up until 2 moments ago when Ali mentioned that she watched one of them, I completely forgot that they happened. So that's just me being very honest.
You were in a little bit of a haze when we talked about them last week, though.
I was fuck them. That was probably my attitude towards both of them last week. I should watch them though. I should watch them, especially if there was at least a single game announcement. So I'll give it a crack. Was there anything else you liked there, Ali, or was it all just kind of a bit of fluff?
Look, it was honestly majority fluff. There was something about Crash Bandicoot Racer something or other.
Crash Team Racing. Thank you very much.
Exactly. I never played Crash, so to me that was just I didn't really care too much. But Observation got my attention. So
that was Sony's best attempt at a Mario Kart competitor.
Yeah.
And Mario Kart's had 8 installments or something since, and Crash Team Racing is having its 3rd.
I can't wait. I love Crash Team Racing. Love, love, love it. So bring it on.
Name 5 characters that you can play.
N-Cortex, Crash, Tiny is the giant tiger.
Yeah.
What's I can't remember Crash's offshoot, the Bandicoot girl with the blonde ponytail.
His sister. Krish.
Krish.
Krishila.
Krishana.
And then can you use the Ooga? You wouldn't be able to race as the Ooga Booga mask, would
Nah,
you?
you pick that up. That's the equivalent of the Mario Kart Star.
Yeah.
We've got 4. Is 4 all right?
Nah.
Oh, what about Pinky? Pinky, the like 1930s gangster.
Yes, he'll do.
Yeah, Pinky.
Gotcha,
Ali.
Yeah.
Trying to come up against Brendan and me?
Yeah.
What?
To be honest, Sam, I was actually just going at Brendan, but then you decided to come in with some support, so I'm like, all right.
I
thanks,
played
man.
Crash very recently. I did play Crash very
Did you?
recently, yeah. So I thought I'd
Fair
chime
enough.
in.
But I really can't remember the characters, so that's something I need to brush up on before the game releases. All right, so let's tail into the final segment of episode 145. As mentioned at the start, we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing a video game draft, and for those that aren't familiar with this concept, think of like people that might play fantasy sports, whether it be NFL, NBA, NRL. But the way this is going to be working is, say Bizarro Anthony here selects The Legend of Zelda as his franchise. Myself and Ali can no longer then select it to become part of our roster. So it's once that franchise has been selected, they're completely off the board. It's going to be 7 rounds, and it's going to be snake draft style. So what that means is Ali will go first, I'll go second, Dream will go third, but then he'll also pick 4th, then I'll pick 5th, and then Ali will do 6th and 7th, so on and so forth, sort of snaking down the board.
Yeah.
So, Miss Hart, maybe take us away with what your first overall pick would be for your team of video game franchises.
Now I want to establish this draft. Are we trying to make a draft that everyone wants, or a draft that's close to our hearts?
I'll leave it up to you. Like we're going to then sort of send this out to the people and get their voice of public opinion to see what they think would be, I guess, the best team of respective franchises. So it could be, maybe you do just 7 titty-based stream games. Who knows? Like,
I'd win for sure.
I'd vote for that. I might vote for that.
Look, okay, I'm going to be smart. My first one is just going to be pure investment, so I can get them at biggest payout. So I'm just going to say Super Mario Brothers.
all right.
Oh, boo. Really?
That's pretty much my first. That's just going to be the money maker. Everything else is fun. You need that 1-star player.
Yeah, so bear in mind that does not encompass like Mario Kart and stuff. That's just the traditional Mario sort of platformer games. But still, you can't really argue with that. I'm going to take the Grand Theft Auto franchise for my first overall pick.
Oh, you guys are so boring.
Which I think is pretty good. Obviously, it is the game that is on everybody's lips, even however many years on since GTA 5 was released. Their online components are just printing money for Rockstar still to this day. And I cannot wait for GTA 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. By then, I'm probably 50, but I'll be loving the shit out of it.
See, I think you both just subverted me.
They're both investment options. Our first picks were just definitely investment options.
Alright. Neither of you care about either of those series, though. Like, I don't think either of you really give a shit.
GTA was on my
about
radar.
either of them.
I'm not going to lie, GTA was on my radar for this draft.
So my first pick was going to be Senran Kagura, and my second was going to be Resident Evil.
Oh, so you were just going to spite us.
Well, no, I love these series. I love both of these games. I do. And so my first pick is Senran Kagura. And my second pick is Resident Evil. I think anyone who's been listening to the show long enough knows that if there's anything that means the world to me, it's a good old jump scare and a whole bunch of titties. So I'll take both of those series, and I think that I'm going to stand by both of those. I think.
Damn, that's cold, Dream. That's cold.
That is the most brutal start to this.
I'll play for keeps, people. I'll play for keeps.
I like the way you're going with this. It's getting very personal real quick, but I'm not going to resort to these sort of disgusting low blows, and I'm going to take the Elder Scrolls franchise as my second round pick.
Just another cookie cutter selection from Brendan. Surprise, surprise. World of Warcraft will be his next one.
Could, who knows if it makes it back to me? Like I'm building the dream team over here. I'm thinking of games that I'm going to get
Speaking of dream
longevity.
team, I'm taking Tekken.
That's What a great
Fuck
choice.
you, Sam.
That's totally
I
fine.
don't care. I'm still taking your game.
I've heard so
just
many good
said
things
red.
about Tekken. I've heard a lot of good things about it.
All right, so you got another pick again.
Oh, okay. No, actual serious
Yeah,
one.
now that you said that, Tekken, there's nothing else you can swing at me with.
Speaking of fighting, I will also take Mortal Kombat. Why not have 2 fighting games on my list?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Interesting.
Because that makes sense.
Interesting.
All right. I am going to take Pokemon for my 3rd round pick here.
Interesting.
I'm feeling good. I've got a lot of
Yeah.
games here that's going to cover a lot of hours.
What are your favorite 5 What are your favorite 10 Pokemon?
I'm a
me
Gen
10.
1 boy.
Yeah, give me 10.
Let's go with... Obviously, Squirtle's my homeboy.
Let me rephrase the question to just name 10 Pokemon.
I love that you have me like I don't know Pokemon. Like I could go all 3 evolutions for Squirtle, all 3 evolutions for Charmander up through, all 3 evolutions for bloody Bulbasaur, and then I could just say Machamp, or I could go Machoke, or I could go Machamp, or I could go...
Not Machamp.
Who is... Oh, I'm thinking Chomp from Mario now. That gets me over the 10. I could name about all the 151 though.
I like that you said I could name. You didn't name them. Interesting. All right, let's not go there. I think
Because it's
you're a Pokemon
irrelevant
master.
airtime right now for the listeners. I respect their time, Dream.
You're a Pokemon master.
Twice
I do-
this
and
episode,
Cubone.
we've both gone at Brendan and said, name this many.
Yeah.
Name them. Prove your dedication, asshole.
So, all right. So I didn't really think past turns 1 or 2, to be honest.
I don't even think you thought about 1 or 2.
I'll go back to my own world, games that I love. So I'm gonna pick Destiny as my 3rd pick because it's a great series, and I think that it's not at all been marred by controversy or toxic player bases or anything. It's just a great game.
I'm looking
cool
at
game.
the bloody chart right now, and they're gonna confuse. They're gonna think when we upload this that someone's gonna think that we've switched
Yeah.
our names out.
Oh yeah, I was thinking the same thing a moment ago. Nah, you know what? I actually think they'll get it accurately because everyone knows that I'm a bit of a, I guess,
Resident
troll.
Evil fan.
They're just
Huge
gonna assume
Resident
that I
Evil
was
fan.
drunk.
And you know what else? Like, it's kind of incredible. I'm actually also a huge Mass Effect fan. Huge
Son of a
Mass
bitch,
Effect
that was my
fan.
next pick.
So I'm going to take Mass Effect as well, please. For 10 points, Eddie.
Son of a bitch. I was zeroed in on that, and I'm like, it's making it back to me. I got it for sure. I am going to take the Metal Gear franchise then as my 4th round pick. You know, Konami maybe might do something good with the franchise. Who knows? Maybe they'll make peace with Hideo and say, come back, we'll give you a blank check and make Metal Gear Solid 6 for us, please, because we don't know what to do now. We can't make those survival horde mode bullshits they're doing now with that franchise anymore. So give me Metal Gear for my 4th round pick.
Cool. I like that pick. I think that's a pick that's true to you.
You fucker.
I'm going to take Animal Crossing because I might as well have an actual game I enjoy on the fucking list.
That was my next pick.
Thanks.
That was actually going to be my next one, but that's cool. I got plenty more.
And what else can I take? Should I stick to something that I actually care about, or should I actually, take something from Sam? No, I won't, because he does really like crappy games.
Great games.
You know what? I'll take Gears of War.
Ooh, interesting. What was
Which
the
is always a
main
good
driver
follow-up
behind
of Animal Crossing.
Right.
I just remember being very fond of the first one, and I feel like Gears of War always has had that like spawner franchise. I feel like Gears of War's just going to keep going because it's like Microsoft and they need what they can get.
Yeah. Wow.
That's fair.
That's totally fair. Yeah.
I am going to take for my 5th round pick, The Witcher.
Oh, that was my next Brendan pick. Yeah, I think that game, you call like Blood and Wine your favorite game of 20 something. Even though
I think it was at least up there. It was mighty impressive what CD Projekt Red put together.
Yeah, I do think that is totally fair. And I'm absolutely stalling now as I come to think of another one for you, Brendan, that I can take. But while I'm thinking of that, let me take Borderlands for Ali. I'll take that as my own. I think, as anyone could tell from listening to this episode, huge fan of Borderlands. I think that just the way that you get to have all the guns is cool, and the open landscapes and stuff. And
You are selling the dream.
just a big Borderlands fan. And I guess while I'm at it, I might just strike twice with Ali. I'll take The Division as well, just to really close off all the options. All the places to go. I can't name any other titty games.
To be honest, it's not like ones that I'm actually passionate about. You know, you took right off the fucking gate, so.
He's a son of a bitch,
Yes.
but he's doing it well. I am going to take... I'm just going to take the Call of Duty franchise
Yes,
as a
I'm
whole.
in that.
There's no emotion in this anymore from Brendan.
Oh,
He's just taking powerhouses.
I know what I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take Titanfall
Ooh.
Really?
So that,
because I get Apex then, don't I?
that
yeah,
does
I'd
include
say that it
Apex.
encompass Apex.
Yeah, that does include
Yeah.
Apex. We'll give you that. That's a good pickup.
It was a good pickup. I
It's a good pickup.
pat myself on the back for that one. Because I didn't get GTA, which I'm pissed off about, I am going to take Saints Row.
Nice. That's pretty handy.
Saints Row 1 and 2, I really enjoyed. So.
I thought you'd be liking the more crazy ones where you got, dildo launchers and bloody dubstep guns and stuff like that.
I mean, they were alright, but I actually enjoyed the story and the gameplay of 1 and 2. And then he became the president and then just all went to hell.
I'm thinking I've got a lot of like open world RPG long burn-esque games, so I'm going to go a little bit off the beaten track here, and I'm going to go Tony Hawk's Pro Skater
Ooh.
for something a little bit different, a little bit fun.
I'm going to take Mario Kart for number 7 because I think that Brendan, one of the few things you pride yourself on is your ability to play Super Mario Kart.
Yep, that was going to be my final pick, moving
Yeah.
into the 8th round here, so...
That's cool because I think I've got your next 8th pick anyway. Notice how no one's talking about Red Dead Redemption here either.
Yeah.
You know, for Sam's spitefulness, he has an awesome list. I'm just going to say right now. Like, even though he was being completely spiteful, he's got probably the best list.
I came at it with emotion. Hey, I'm a fan of all these games. I've finished every single Mario Kart.
Name 3 Borderlands characters, asshole. Alright.
Magic Girl,
The one with
Shooter
the
Man, and
yeah, the
Muscle
one with
Guy.
the crow.
The one with the mask.
Yeah. And the guy that looks like he's shooting himself in the head on the cover. There you go, that's right.
Done.
All right, I've got one more title left. Looking at my little short list here, I've just got so much open world stuff going on here.
Wait, did you both make lists?
I highlighted ones that
No.
I wanted.
I've been jotting things down though as it comes to me.
Bastards, I've been just going, okay.
Shit.
Is that a game?
I'm gonna take. What am I gonna take? I'm trying to stay true to myself and not just do the pandering. So I'm certainly not going to be picking Zelda because you know what? Fuck that game.
I would argue that of your entire list, Brendan, so far, you have GTA, Elder Scrolls, Pokemon, Metal Gear, The Witcher, Call of Duty, Tony Hawk's. I would argue that only 3 of those 7 are actually game series you give a shit about.
You know, I've finished the campaigns in just about every single one of those releases in every
I
single
know, but,
subsequent
like,
release of that game.
I would say only Elder Scrolls, The Witcher, and Metal Gear are things you love truly and dearly.
I like GTA.
Yeah, everyone likes GTA. Yeah, anyway.
Everyone likes GTA.
For my last pick, I'm going to take Uncharted. because it's good fun, and that franchise is not dead yet. So I'm going to get some more play out of it.
Can I ask you why you didn't maybe go for The Last of Us?
Oh, no, because that's my pick. I want to troll the audience.
They were the two I was looking at. I just think at the moment, The Last of Us might only be, 1 and 2, and that could be it. And, that's not a bad thing, but at least Uncharted, I've got several games, offshoots, a potential film with Nathan Fillion coming maybe, fingers crossed. So, yeah.
You ruined my surprise. Yeah, mine's The Last of Us.
Sorry, Ali.
Thanks, man.
That's all right. I'm glad to see you coming around to the dark side in the end, though, and choosing something that will hopefully make someone out there a little unhappy.
Yeah, well, I still have Tekken on my list.
And Mortal Kombat.
Great choice.
Mortal Kombat in the third round was...
That was a big... Yeah.
I've got two fighting games in my list.
Yeah, I think me taking Senran really took you for 6, and you just didn't know what to do after that. So.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
Did you want to just throw out a bonus one, just for shits, straight off, off the cuff, that you'd add to your list if you could?
I mean, The Last of Us was my shits and giggles game. So, I don't know. I can't really think of anything else, although I should... You know what? Yeah, StarCraft.
Not
Pay
Diablo?
homage to my-
Wait, why not Diablo?
Because StarCraft was from my childhood.
You own Diablo on 4 consoles.
Yeah, but I played StarCraft when I was younger.
Alright.
What
That's
about you,
cool.
Dream? What would be your last sort of just Hail Mary that you'd add to your list?
I would just do something actually true to me. And I'll take Final Fantasy. I love Final Fantasy games.
I assume that was going to make the list somewhere.
Yeah. Had to.
And
it's not getting any representation elsewhere.
Yeah. I don't know what I'd chuck at the end. A lot of franchises there I really like. Maybe I'd do something like Silent Hill, so I've got a little bit of horror in there.
Yeah, cool.
Maybe.
Cool. I like Resident Evil better than Silent Hill.
Yeah. Oh, so do I. Yeah. But obviously, I can't select that.
It's quick.
Also, StarCraft's one word.
It is one word.
Okay. Fuck. PC. Master Race dogs.
Look, I was going to say Command and Conquer, but Command and Conquer only played a few of them. And,
yeah.
All right. Miss Hart, did you want to give the audience a recap of your video game draft opening day roster?
Yeah, sure. So my roster is starting with Mario because I wanted an investment opportunity before I pretty much got absolutely assaulted in the rear end by Sam taking my games. So then I took Tekken to be some kind of spiteful. And then my ingenious ass took Mortal Kombat because why not? That was actually a fighting game I did play. And then we go straight to Animal Crossing. followed by Gears of War, and then Titanfall, Saints Row, The Last of Us, and then just the sugar on top was StarCraft.
Not a bad overall sort of video game roster you got there.
It's
some
really
pretty
confused.
pretty world famous, very very diverse list, one might say. So my team is looking like as follows. I've got the Grand Theft Auto franchise, then Elder Scrolls, Pokemon, Metal Gear, The Witcher, Call of Duty, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater for something a little bit light and easy, bit of a pick up, put down type of game. Maybe interested more so in the soundtrack than anything else. And then I've got the Uncharted franchise and my little sprinkling on top, as Miss Hart said, I have Silent Hill as my bonus pick.
And the winning team had Senran Kagura, Resident Evil, Destiny, Mass Effect, Borderlands, The Division, Super Mario Kart, and Red Dead Redemption as our top 8. The dream team, you might say, and Final Fantasy as just that little thing to get you through those cold winter nights.
Mm-hmm. Three very very different lists. Obviously. Two of us went at it at different perspectives as opposed to Bizarro Anthony here, but he still assembled a pretty decent list.
To be
completely honest.
I would argue that mine is the best approach. I wasn't worried about what matters, like what's the big gun, who's the big kid in the playground. I went for what is nearest and dearest to your hearts.
Yeah,
I have played every game on my list.
So actually, have I?
Yeah, I've played Tekken. I've played every game on my list. Even half-assed The Last of Us. And I mean, the majority, apart from Tekken and The Last of Us, actually I love. So I'm happy with my list.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of all those franchises, and I know I could play these games for the next 50 years straight. There's that amount of content in these IPs. But yeah, maybe because I do have so much RPG, maybe I'll get a little bit of RPG fatigue. But then I'll just pick up some Tony Hawk Pro Skater and do some fat stiffies, you know?
Yeah. Jeez. I've played and finished all the games on my list. I'm a big fan of all of them. And
You finished Destiny, did you?
I've finished Destiny 1 and 2. Which is not a lie. I actually have finished main story in both of those games.
You finished the main story. You haven't finished the fucking game, though. It's still going.
No, I still play. Light level 1,220.
Oh, alright. What's your light level in the Division?
I'm level 30, and I'm currently president tier.
Heading up the
I'm
Pentagon.
more impressed with how, he actually... The keywords he paid attention when I was talking about it. So
Yeah.
I have that small appreciation that he did kind of listen to me.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually president tier. Yeah.
It's not a tier.
No, it's not a thing you've reached.
She's vice
How do
president here at the moment.
How do you smack someone through a webcam? They need that technology.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
All
But
right,
I'm sure
listeners.
if you could, you would have figured it out by now.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Listeners, give us your feedback. Hit us up at hello@8bit.net on the email if you want to sort of send something a little bit long form. Otherwise, hit us up on the socials as a collective at We Are 8bit. If you want to attack Dream individually, as some prefer to do, Saleem TD on Twitter, Miss Ali Hart on Twitter, or Brendan 8bit on Twitter. Give us your feedback on our video game lists and where we stack up. Are they good lists? Are they bad lists? Is this something you agree with or you deny with, comprehensively? Because we want your feedback on that. We will be dropping it on the socials as well. Maybe a poll. Poll's probably the best way to, weed out the good and the bad here and see who reigns supreme as far as video game franchise draft teams go. What's your team game going to be, by the way? Are you just the dream team?
Mine's Hungry Gamer's Greatest Hits.
Oh, nice. Nice. I have not come up with a name yet, so I probably shouldn't have asked this question right now. So,
My team name is Where's the Tits?
That's good, actually. That's good. But yes, this has been episode 145 of the Hungry Gamers podcast. Thank you all for listening. We are obviously available on all podcast platforms of choosing, but if you can, be sure to rate, review, subscribe us on the iTunes. Leave us a sneaky review. It means the world to us and helps keep those emotional lights on in our hearts. While you're there, be sure to rate, review, subscribe all the other podcasts in the hashtag 8bit Collective, as well as all the other podcasts you listen to on the daily, because it means a lot to us all. While you're there, audiotechnica.com.au for the best in audio-based equipment. Maybe check out the new BP40 microphone, which I am road testing right now, and it is the business. I've never sounded better. But this has been episode 145. Is there anything you guys wanted to say before we close this on down?
Honorable mention on our finalist, the Australian Podcast Awards.
Yes. So thank you for the votes and nominations to get us on the shortlist for the OzPod Awards 2019. We are one of 6 finalists, I do believe. If I remember correctly. So, winners will be announced in the coming futures. So fingers crossed that we can, take that one home. But if not, thank you for the consideration. And, it's much appreciated. It means a lot.
Maybe just another shout out for the Patreon, patreon.com/We Are 8bit. I'm really excited to release the episode 4 of the 8bit cast tomorrow. It got very wild. We watched a full James Bond film before doing this episode, and it was quite late, and we're all a bit crazy. So, so I look forward to putting that out there and hearing people's feedback.
Cannot wait. So, again, I have been Brendan, that has been Saleem, and that has also been Miss Hart. Until next week for the world first 146 of the Hungry Gamers podcast. Much love, 8bit Nation.
Stay hungry.
You've been listening to The Hungry Gamers, one of many gaming and geek culture related podcasts from the 8-Bit Collective over on 8bit.net. Check out more episodes on your podcast service of choice. And while you're there, please be sure to rate and subscribe. Until next time, boys and girls, stay hungry.